Hello everyone, Jella here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going for a simple but satisfying chicken recipe. Garlic butter chicken with freshly cracked black peppercorn. Look at all that yumminess. Wow, I can't wait to get started. Let's dig in. So we have 5 ingredients. We have peppercorn, black pepper, we have garlic, we have Himalayan salt. We're going to use some butter as well, and I'm using Kerrygold and also bouillon, chicken bouillon, the no type. So we're going to crush the peppers and salt and the pestle, 2 parts pepper and 1 part Himalayan salt. And then after that we're going to move on to nor. We need a teaspoon of nor in a separate bowl. And after crushing the peppers, we take 3 tablespoons of the pepper and we mix it into the nor. So we sort of have like 4 parts, 2 parts pepper, 1 part salt, and 1 part nor. And we're using that to mix. And now we are going to cut the butter into small pieces. I think 12 parts of the 1 stick of butter should work beautifully. And those we will insert into the chicken skin. So at this point I am going to spatchcock the chicken, and a butterfly alternative name for it. I love to keep the backbone, of course remove the butt, and break the chicken apart. I love using a paring knife because it's more controlled, and I sort of press down on my chicken to sort of break the bones, internal bones if necessary, and take some of the trimmings of fat off of it. I know it's ironic given that I'm going to add more butter to it later, but that's sort of how I work with this, and I think it works best. I've tried this recipe several times and it works beautifully. So now we're moving to the drying of the chicken. This part is important. You want the chicken to be as dry as possible so it can absorb nutrients. And then the most important part for me is I'm going to gently tear through the skin and the meat of the chicken, and the thigh section, both thigh sections, and the breast section. And the reason why I'm doing this is, apart from just putting seasoning on the skin, I am going to try to insert some seasoning into the middle of the flesh and the skin. I think that when you do that, it gives the chicken the opportunity to absorb the flavor more. So yes, so at this point I am drying and also piercing through the skin and the flesh and the meat of the chicken, to make sure that I get the seasoning into it properly. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe to my channel. Now we have everything together. We're going to mix it all up with the chicken. It's important to keep your butter cold, but first I'm going to start with the garlic. I am going to rub garlic into the chicken and put it between the skin and the meat of the chicken. It's very important to do this so that the chicken can really absorb the flavor of garlic. You can get garlicky if you're one that really likes a garlic, high intensity garlic in your chicken, and you can just go with it and do this to the rib cage of the chicken as well. Get that flavor in there, and then from there, yeah, so you can see I'm flipping it over and adding garlic to it. At this point you're going to move on to going to start adding the peppers to it. So you want to do the mix of the black pepper, salt, and the bouillon, and you sort of similar to what you did with garlic. You sprinkle it liberally over the chicken between the skin and the flesh, and you want to make sure that you're massaging this spice mix into the chicken, and you mix it very well. Chicken is all about taste. It's all about cooking is all about taste and feel. If you're an experienced cook, sort of get a sense of how much salt, how much pepper, how much flavor you like in your food, the intensity. We all have different palates, so sort of go with the flow when you do your mix to get a sense of it. And you store the chicken after you've added the butter, which we're going to do shortly, in the fridge for about 24 hours. I like it to sit for that long. Some might prefer less time. If you don't have that much time, I think a good 6 hours should be sufficient. But you want to keep the chicken in the fridge so that the butter stays cold, so that when it gets into the oven, it melts gradually into the chicken. So yeah, so we're doing more of the seasoning of the chicken here, and once we're done with that, we're going to let it sit for 24 hours to really get that flavor in there. And then we are going to move it into a convection oven roast at 365, 375 depending, and I would let it cook for about an hour. Well, roast for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Of course, it's for you to determine. You make sure that you measure the temperature of your chicken and make sure that the internal temperature is at 165 before you take it out. That's point where it's considered a well-cooked chicken. Okay, so I'm putting in more butter into the layer between the skin and the meat of the chicken, and we're going to put it in the fridge. Now we are going to let the chicken marinate in the fridge for about 24 hours. We're gonna cook it. Look at that yumminess. Oh my god, it's so golden brown. And yes, I can't wait to dig into that. So you can see the peppers on it. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? So I am going to, at this point, try to take a few pieces for myself. My kids love this chicken. I usually drain some of the butter out, and when I want to eat it, I just pour a little bit of it on it. Oh, we're also trying to keep our weight, so not too much butter. So yes, I'm getting a thigh, well, a quarter for myself, and taking a bit of it into yumminess. It's so beautiful. I love this. Thank you for watching.